Okay, guys, this is Ballface8020, your boy, back with another great commentary. You gotta excuse me, my heart's not really in this one. Some of you may have seen, I tried to release this earlier, but my piece of shit screen recording software didn't record the sound of Kerrigan's part, so it was unwatchable. So I'll try to do it again. Obviously, like my heart's not going to be in it saying the same thing all over again, but I'll try my best. I'll make at least a half-assed effort. How about that? So anyway, first thing, apologize about my voice. Got crap in my lungs from my long illness. Should be My voice should be back to normal next month. I mean next week. Hopefully not next month. Hopefully in 1 week. Other people asking me why am I not doing so much Manosphere stuff anymore? Look, Manosphere stuff is my favorite kind of content. It's easy to make. It's fun to do. It gets a lot of engagement. I like doing Manosphere stuff, but there's got to be something that out there that inspires me to respond to it. And most things don't. Even this video doesn't really, and I'm not just saying it because I'm doing it the second time. I don't find that inspiring. It was just like at least something. I mean, and if I'm not inspired, I would rather just put out nothing or do a different topic. Because yeah, the I'm just not gonna make stuff if I'm not feeling it. And you guys wouldn't be, it would be a disservice to you guys, and and as a content creator, you don't want to put out something that you didn't like. Um, yeah, so anyway, in this video, Casey, is pimping out his younger sister again, or is one of his two sisters, to drive views to his channel. So let's hear what she has to say. What she says here is not that bad, but I have some gripes. No, it's the other sister who looks like very similar to Casey, except with black hair instead of blonde hair. She was in the old commercials. If you've seen his older, I think his first MBT commercials. Um, you don't really see her that much though. I know that he recently loaned her $1,000 because he mentioned the sister that lives far away from him. He had to give her $1,000. Um, but yeah. So basically, with the Zander kids, it's two came out total douches. That's Casey and his sister, and then two came out pretty likable. Kerrigan and Cole are likable. Cole seems to act the most like the dad, but a more likable version. And I guess Casey and his sister just got the worst traits of both parents combined. And Kerrigan just seems normal to me.
I'm back. Okay, so I know you guys missed me, but before I start, I just want to say that Casey has a little gift for all of you guys at the end who's watching this. So I want to make sure that you guys stay till the end just to get that because it's a really big gift. So just wait till the end. Today I'm going to be talking about how to know if a girl is into you. And before I start, I want to say to all the 50-year-olds complaining about me being on camera and wanting to hear from like a real older woman, half of Casey's demographic is literally like teenage boys.
Well, first of all, why did you put older woman in quotes? Second of all, I have to say I'm a little offended because I know she said 50-year-old guys, but she means guys like my age or even younger than me. Really, guys like because when you're that age, like 30 seems ancient. So she like anybody 30 or above is who I think she's talking about. And Kerrigan, I don't know if Kerrigan's 18 or 19. I think she's 19, but I'm not certain. And but the problem with what Kerrigan just said is that it doesn't say much about Casey that half his audience is teenage boys and Casey's like pushing 27, but also anybody who's paying Casey money is not 14 and 15 years old. Those guys, like, it's all going to be guys who are. My guess is most of the people who are paying Casey money are 30 or older, or at least late 20s, and some probably are in their 40s or 50s. So, I mean, the content should be tailored to get to people who are actually going to pay Casey money, right?
And like young men. So you're not the only one that we're thinking about. And I just need you to.
Well, why not? Because that's the only people who are going to pay you money are the older guys. So why would you say anything to try to reach out to the guys in their teens? How is that going to help Casey's business?
Just suck it up and either go to another video or back off because I'm talking to 50%.
Yeah, she has, and I know if you guys, some of you guys have already seen my other videos, so you know this, but like I feel so retarded repeating the stuff I just said, but yeah, she has more frame control than 99% of the guys for a couple of reasons. Okay, one is she just naturally has a strong personality. Two is socially, girls kind of live on easy mode as it is versus guys because like girls can get away with running their mouth a lot more than guys can. Because a guy will, guys kind of are naturally fighting for a pecking order, and then we know how to settle stuff with other guys, violently. And girls don't really like that kind of conflict, even with other girls, like maybe in the ghetto. But they also know that a guy's not going to hit them for mouthing off to them, and which is good. They should. I mean, obviously, nobody should use violence against anybody. But so it's not a criticism of girls, but it's easier for girls to like do this bad bitch sassy thing and quote frame control than it is for guys. But also part of it's just personality. And if it's not, so like I would never tell any. I mean, it's horrible advice to go say like you should just go out there and try to control frame. Like that's the last thing you should do. And I say this as somebody in sales. That's the last thing you should do is go out and try to like fight for and establish control. I would say that you know you're looking for a degree of control over your own emotions, your own inner space. That's one thing. But control of the conversation, no, 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 no. Don't fight for control of the conversation, for frame, for any of that shit. That's a huge mistake. We can talk about other things maybe in a different video, but I know Casey's just being a smartass, but on the other hand, it's Casey, so he probably actually means something by it.
Percent of Casey's demographic, not you guys. Moving on. To know if a girl's into you, the first thing is a girl will make it extremely obvious if she's not into you. Like, you will know. So if you're sitting there debating if she is
No, this isn't true. No, it's not necessarily true. This is true if it's a girl who you interact with, like regularly. Okay? If any type of regular interaction with her, you will know if she's into you or not. Okay? And the but if it's they could eat it could there are cases where girls have crushes on you from afar, because I know when I was in 6th and 7th grade, I know this happened a lot, where I like somebody would come up to me and be like, hey, yo, so and so likes you, and I'd be like, but dude, I've never even spoken with her. What are you talking about? But that's why I didn't notice, because I mean, obviously they developed a crush on me. Either who knows? Who knows how they got a crush on me? But they did, and I just missed it. And because I never actually talked to him, but if I had spoken with him, I would have seen the signs. And granted, at that age, I might have actually missed it too, even though I'm not a spurg. But I think I'd have picked it up. But no, you generally you'll know. And this thing, if you have to ask, she doesn't, which is why these kind of videos are harmful, because you have a lot of guys who are probably thinking like, oh well, I don't know if she likes me, so I'm gonna go see this, and then they're gonna do some like wishful thinking that like the girl's giving them signs. Like, if you have to ask, she doesn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
is or isn't. She most likely is not. And even though girls are confusing, and I do agree with that, 50% of the time, if she's giving you absolutely zero energy, she's most likely not interested in you, and that's just a
It's 100% of the time, not 50.
fact. So again, girls will make it very obvious if they're not interested in you. The first way to know if a girl really is interested in you, in my opinion, I feel like if a girl holds solid eye contact with you, whether you're in a group, on a date, alone, doesn't matter, just hanging out, if she is genuinely interested
If you're on a date with her, I would think you should probably have figured out that she's got at least some interest.
in what you have to say, holds eye contact, has a genuine, real conversation with you, and doesn't like go off and glaze over, she's most likely interested in you in some sort of way, or just wants to get to know you to see if she will become interested in you.
If she wants to get to know you to see if she's going to become interested, she's already interested.
So a number one way to see if a girl likes you, I guess I could say, is if she holds eye contact and really listens to what you're saying and has
See, I don't think the eye contact is a big
real
deal. Sorry, but the listens to what you're saying is probably true.
genuine conversation with you. And even if she doesn't care what you're saying, she will pretend to care.
She's not going to care what you're saying. Women don't have interest the same way we do. Like the stuff, you listen to the stuff women talk about when there's no guys around, and it's like the kind of stuff women are interested in is just like even gay guys aren't interested in that stuff. So if she's talking to you about something like a subject with real substance, then either she's on the spectrum, she's just weird, or she does like you and is into you, or at least might be into you. That's pretty much a given. Definitely, if you're talking to a girl, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but if you're talking to a girl like Kerrigan, like about with the subject of any substance whatsoever, and she's actually like trying to follow along in the conversation, it means she likes you.
So that's another good way to tell.
That's why, like, too, if a girl, like, even if you're bad at making jokes or anything like that, and you make terrible jokes, but, like, a girl will consistently laugh at what you're saying, it's because she wants you to feel good. So, like,
Yeah, I have a feeling Casey has a lot of experience with girls laughing at his very bad jokes.
keep that in mind. Like, she'll give you attention if she thinks you're high value enough to give attention to.
Another good way to tell if girls are interested in you is if she laughs at what you say. And this is going to sound really generic and really basic. Girls in general are very bubbly and they kind of laugh at everything. But
That's again. This was the one part of the video where I think the age thing comes in. That really only describes young girls, like 18 and younger. Yeah, those girls that age are just laugh at everything. They're just retarded. Nothing you can do about that. Not. I mean, guys that age have their own set of issues. But girls that age are the worst. With just when they're in groups, they just laugh at everything. And even when I was young, it was like that. And not even like the attractive ones either. I mean, well, the attractive ones too, but not even even some of them like who are like on the homely side. You put them all together in a group, they just laugh and laugh and laugh at shit. And I don't know what it's about, but that's what they do. But they outgrow that. By the time they're 19, 20 or older, they're not doing that anymore. So I mean, I disagree with her just saying that girls are generally bubbly. But even at the younger age, it's different than like if it's like one on one and they're laughing at like your jokes in particular, then I mean it depends because like somebody like me who like because I am really funny, and not to toot my own horn, um, like it could just be that I am that funny. Most people, most generally speaking, if they're laughing, they probably like you, or I don't, or they're just stupid. I don't know.
but most of the time, if they're interested in you, they will pretend like you are the funniest person in the world. So you could be an absolute like disgrace. Like you could be the dumbest person she knows, and
So you could be Casey and they'd still laugh at your jokes. Yeah, I mean it's true. I guess the word of caution I would say is that like if you're not getting these signs, she's not into you. That's true. But if you are getting it, that doesn't necessarily mean she is into you. She could just want to flirt. She could just want you as a beta orbiter. She could have some like purpose to manipulate you. She could just not even know how she feels. Like a lot of times women themselves don't know what they want. And how often do we ourselves not know what we want? So I wouldn't necessarily read too much into it. I do think that you do. I mean, if there's no signals, don't go forward because it's not going to happen. But you don't want to also overread these signals either.
and she will laugh at you to make you feel validated so that you know that she's interested. It's just how it works. Yeah, if she laughs at what you say, even if it's not funny, she might have some sort of interest in you. Okay, this one's a really good one. It's my number one way that I think that a guy can tell if a girl's interested in them. If her demeanor completely changes when you're in a group versus when you're alone. So again, let's say you hang out with girls and guys in a friend group and she is talkative, she feels comfortable, she's laughing, she's talking, she's bubbly, whatever. And then it switches and you two are alone and she's nervous and she's shy and she's a little bit scared to talk, she's not as outgoing. She 100% has some sort of interest in you because why would she be nervous to be alone with you if she didn't look at you as something other than a
Well, I mean, it is. It can be a lot more awkward being with somebody who you don't, you know. I mean, I guess. It's probably true, but I don't know. And I think it probably depends on the personality type of all the people in question. And I don't know. I certainly don't have any experience with that, so I don't know.
And a friend, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, pretty much if her demeanor changes from like outgoing to shy and nervous when she's around you, then you know that she has some sort of interest in you. Lastly, the number one thing as a man is that you should always be pursuing the woman.
No, and this is the most important part of the video. I think that I'll try to be close to verbatim to my last response. Women are not attracted to confidence. Okay, now that's the simple answer or the simple response, but there's a kind of a caveat to this. If you're somebody who looks like, how many guys are physically what women consider hot? And 10% at most. I think it's less than that. You can also put like guys with really high status. I mean, if you put guys who are like physically like what's that guy from Thor? I don't know, the guy from Thor, Hemsworth, right? Chris Hemsworth or whatever his name is. If like guys who are like Chris Hemsworth and then guys who are just super high status, put them together, they're less than 10% of the male population. Those guys, the guys who women think of as hot, those guys, if they act confident, that will be really attractive to women. But women basically have 3 tiers when it comes to men: hot, cute, and ugly. If you're a guy who's just in the cute or in the ugly thing, confidence isn't going to look attractive. It might even put women off. It's got to, whatever, your demeanor, your behavior and demeanor should fit your looks. I mean, in the purpose of, I don't know, really in everything in life. If just in terms, I mean, insofar as it comes to like getting the best impression or getting the most mileage. It's about playing the hand you're dealt. If you just don't care what people think, then go ahead and act however you want. It's probably for the best. But the fact is, you're going to be judged. A huge part of how you're going to be judged is by how you look. And even insofar you're judged by your behavior will be judged within the context of the judgment that's being made on your looks. I mean, that's just part of your judgment. So it would not make sense for Peter Dinklage to carry himself the same way as The Rock. Okay, that would be insane. So behaviors that women might find hot coming from Tom Brady, they're not going to necessarily find attractive coming from you. They might even find them repulsive. So this whole thing about confidence, it's such a meme that we really just need to get off it. And this doesn't just apply to man-woman interactions. This applies to really everything you do in life. And I know I'm a broken record, but I'm in sales. It wouldn't make sense for me to try to sell things the same way I would try to sell things if I looked and had the voice and the height and the build like The Rock. It just wouldn't. You have to, like I said earlier, you play the hand you're dealt.
If you're not pursuing her, it most likely will not work out because girls want to be pursued. We want the guy to take the initiative. We want them to be assertive, which I know is overused now, but we just want to see confidence. And girls,
it's not about confidence. It's just that women expect to be pursued because that's just how it goes. And I think the objection might be like, well, what about Chad? And there are exceptions, but even Chad. I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but when I was in high school, the Chad types, the girls would be very aggressive and following them around and letting those guys know, like, I want you to fuck me, but they still expected, like, some pursuit. Some, generally. They got more aggressive towards the end, but actually, now that I think about it, they could be very aggressive with Chad. So, okay, yeah, Chad's at least is sometimes a partial exception. There are other exceptions in certain communities, too, but Yeah, I think that generally speaking, she's right. I don't know, understand what this has to do with whether a girl's interested in you or not, though.
Girls in general, which is annoying, we're usually shy when it comes to if we like a guy. So if you're sitting there debating if a girl likes you or not, and you're waiting for her to make a move, or you're waiting for her to ask you to go on a date or hang out, whatever it is, it most likely will not
Do people still go on dates? What would you fucking do on a date? That would be so weird.
happen. Just because that girl has made in subtle ways her obvious interest in you, and she's waiting for you to pursue her. So if you're not taking that and gaining your confidence and asking her on dates or asking her out or trying to get to know her, nothing will happen. So pretty much what I'm saying is if you want a girl and you really like a girl and you want to know if she likes you, you gotta man up and you just gotta ask her out. I know it's scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, if you don't already have reason to believe that she A likes you and B wants you to pursue her, then I don't know why you're wasting her time and potentially humiliating yourself. So you should already have a pretty good idea that she wants it. Now, again, she might just want to flirt. She might just want to she might want to emotionally beta bucks you. She might want to turn you into a beta orbiter. She might want to you to ask her out so she can shoot you down. All those things are true. Or maybe she really does want you to ask her out, but she also gets kind of nervous and says no when she does. I mean, there's so many things going on that could happen here. I mean, the you could ask her and she could say no, and for a whole bazillions types of reasons. Like just she might actually like you but not want to go out with you. That kind of stuff does happen. Let's watch the Doomer Tahana videos. So yeah, I mean at some point you've got to bite the bullet if that's what you want. But I don't know. I mean it's I don't envy you guys who do want to play this game.
Scary. I know it can be scary, but when you do it, that
I mean, it's scary when you're young. It's scary. I mean, you'll get older and you just grow out and you'll be like, dude, I was scared of that shit. Are you kidding me? Because there's nothing to it. It's not a big deal. I mean, look, I know the thing is like me even 5 years ago. I'm not even talking about with girls. I'm talking about in sales. Like rejection would devastate me. But again, you'll grow out of it. At some hopefully it doesn't take you till you're 35, but you will.
shows confidence. It shows that you really like her, and it will get you farther than waiting around wondering. Okay, a really good way that could help you guys recognize and
Oh no.
just get better at seeing these signs on your own is getting Casey's masculine.
Oh God, I knew it. I knew it. Oh, Casey, you grifting piece of shit. It's the holidays, can't you? It just never stops. It just never stops. It's just so sad. Um, I can't watch the rest. And look what you're doing, Casey. You're bringing your sister into this. Are you even paying her anything? Like, are you even paying her anything? You shameless grifter. You're just such a bad guy, Casey. And I don't even think you know it. That's like ugh, gross. All right, that's all for now. See you in the next.